Now, one of the projects that I keep working on in between other projects is Pondorama. And this is the two ponds that we have on the property which the previous owners or the original owners of this place left us. One is the goose pond, which I think the previous owners put here so that the geese, which they kept in that little goose house over there, could dip their feet in. And the other is a landscape pond. I think the liner wasn't put in properly, so it probably got exposed to sunlight, turned brittle, broke, and now it doesn't hold water anymore. It only holds about, I'd say, half a meter of water, and that is mostly muck, right? Like really stinky stuff. Pondorama is, at least for now, a project that doesn't really require a lot of materials, because for now it's just clearing. So what it does require is a lot of effort. I've already cleaned out the goose pond, so drained the water, shoveled the muck out, and then took the liner as well as the carpets that were kind of like the underliner, if that's what you call it. Took all that out. And that was a good bit of work. Probably took me about 2 weekends, I'd say, to completely get rid of that. And size-wise, I'd say the landscape pond is 3, if not more times larger than that. So the goose pond is 1 meter 20 by 2 meter 40 and about 1 meter 10 deep, whereas the landscape pond probably is on its deepest end, it's 1 meter 50, I want to say, and it's 6 meters by 7 meters width and length. So it's considerably larger. It holds a lot more muck. There's still vegetation in there, and in terms of carpets, I don't even really want to know yet. But yeah, no real materials required. It really is just a whole lot of effort. And in this first phase of that whole project, that's essentially going to be 2 steps. Step 1 is remove the old brickwork. For reasons unbeknownst to me, there is a brick wall in the landscape pond. I'm not quite sure what its purpose is, but it's there. And while I'm still waiting for skip collection of all the rubble that I've already put together outside of the garage, it makes sense to just break that wall down, add all that rubble to the pile so that it all gets connected in one go and I don't have to go back and order another one. And step 2 is to remove all of the stone slabs that surround the pond and that are also inside the pond, at least in the upper sections. And to do that, I'm going to use 2 of my favorite tools, which is my gentletool and my 42-inch crowbar. And in case it's not completely obvious at this stage what a gentletool is, this is a 14 pounds or 7 kilo sledge or demolition hammer, and the crowbar in metrics it's 1 meter 7 centimeters and probably 3 to 4 kilos, and is, because of its length, extremely handy if you want to lever something apart where you need a lot of leverage. And then phase 2 is pretty much only a spade that I'm going to be using to cut between the stone slabs and the turf that has grown over them. So cut in between to sever the roots of the turf, which is grass essentially, then peel back the grass so that I can lift out the stone slabs and take them to my rock stash, and then also cut off the turf completely and then remove that somewhere where I actually want it. Yep, so that's phase 1, and that's the 2 steps required for phase 1.
And there's a reason why I call that sledgehammer the gentle tool, and that is because when it comes to breaking down brickwork, I only use it to gently tap the individual brick just enough to loosen it up so that I can lift it out of its mortar bed and either use it or carry it away easier. Whereas if I were to hit that brick at full force, especially bricks that have been underwater for as long as these bricks have, and have become quite porous, they would just crumble away into loose gravel, which would then take a much longer time to shovel up.
My original plan for the day was to start hauling these schist slabs out of here, but what I need to do first is I have to check what's under this pond liner here, because there is some hard surface under here and then it drops off there, and this whole area is about another ½ meter deep and quite soft, whereas this is solid ground. So I suspect that there is more brickwork hiding under this, so I'm going to make some incisions here, peel this back to check what's underneath. Now here's some good news. This just looks like compacted dirt. Yeah, there doesn't seem to be any brickwork under this. So for now, I'm just going to ignore this and keep going with the schist slabs.
So that's all the slabs removed. There is some more under the grass there, under the lawn, that are going to be a little more difficult to get to. And I'm going to have to do that some other time, because now it's getting late. One interesting thing I found is this drain opening here. And I'll be quite interested to see where that leads. If there is a soak pit somewhere close by, or if that discharges to the field below. Yeah, so I can already tell by the sound of it that there's slabs under this whole area here. So I'm going to get my spade and start peeling the turf back. And here's my slab stash. So all of these I lifted out of the pond, or from around the pond. Here's my hand for scale. There's probably several tons lying here, I'm not going to lie. And the reason why I'm keeping them here is because I fully intend to use them in future construction projects, because I think using the right way, these can be quite decorative. Alright, we'll leave it there for today. If you're interested, join me for the next phase of Project Pondorama.